his wife has left him. His father is sinking into dementia. And Marcos tries not to think too hard about how he makes a living. After all, it happened so quickly. First, it was reported that an infectious virus has made all animal meat poisonous to humans. Then governments initiated the transition. Now eating human meat, special meat, is legal. Marcos tries to stick to numbers, consignments, processing. Then one day he's given a gift, a live specimen of finest quality. Though he's aware that any form of personal contact is forbidden, on pain of death, little by little he starts to treat her like a human being, and soon he becomes tortured by what has been lost and what he might still be saved. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another book review. 2 days ago I did the It book review, and this is another book that I had finished back in February, and I'm only doing the review for now. I do have to say, I think I liked this book better than It, and that book is Tender is the Flesh by Agustina Bazterrica. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Now, this book is, I believe, was originally in, I think it was Portuguese, but has been changed. This is the English translation, obviously. But yeah, it was a really good book, and I'm going to be doing the same format where I tell you some things I did like about the book and some things I didn't so like about the book. And also, I'm going to give you, this time, I'm going to give you some reasons on why you should read it. And so, without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, I centered the camera a little bit, so hopefully you can tell the difference. But no, some things I liked about the book were, I thought the characters were, for considering how, their personalities were, they were pretty well developed. One second. Yeah, so the characters were pretty well developed. Specifically, our main character, you kind of feel his struggle because, as you could tell from that intro, his wife had left him and he's just going through a hard place emotionally. Also, in the book, they explain how he had lost a child back in the day. Don't get me wrong. This guy is a horrible person. Everyone except for maybe, I think her name was, I think it was Sylvia or something. And that was this female specimen that he received from the butcher shop. Or no, not the butcher shop, the processing plant. Except for everyone, except for her, is a horrible person. Because they still consume, murder and eat humans. Even if they say they're not human, they're still humans. It's just a really messed up book, but that's actually a pro for me. I really liked how just kind of it went into the human psyche and stuff like that. But if you don't do well with gore or stuff like that, you probably shouldn't read this book. But yeah, I'm someone who, like I said, likes that stuff, so I did enjoy this book quite a bit. Other things I liked were, I thought, considering that none of the humans that were bred or born in captivity could speak, I thought that the specimen that he received was really well developed, and I thought she had good character development, even though it wasn't she couldn't speak. And in the end, she does end up having this guy's child, Marcos' child, and immediately afterwards, he kills her and then eats her. They don't say that he eats her, but it's implied that they're going to eat her. It's just it's just a very messed up book. There's another scene where there are these scavengers around the processing plant where they eat the discarded meat, and they say that this is towards the end of the book where they flipped over one of the trucks transporting the human specimens, and they ate the driver, who was not a human specimen, obviously. And they're just kind of oh, how horrible monsters about these scavengers, even though they are eating humans. Sorry about that there. My brother came in trying to prank me, saying that there was a tornado outside, because right now there's kind of a storm going on. But no, as I was saying, they're They're saying how these scavenger people were like these horrible monsters for eating the driver, even though the people who are saying that kill and eat humans and work at the processing plant. It's just everyone. I cannot iterate this enough. Everyone in this book is a horrible person. Like even the sister, the main character Marcos has a sister, and she kind of tells her kid that they don't eat humans, even though later on during the dad's funeral, he finds a cookbook on how to eat a human and cut pieces off of them while still keeping them alive. I'm pretty sure it was called like Death by a Thousand Cuts, which is the same name for a Chinese torture method. You probably know that. Also, the dad's character, I really like the dad's character. They have these like flashbacks on just how he was a good dad. He brought his kids to the zoo. He was just an overall good person. But then after the transition, he kind of lost his mind and kind of went insane a little bit and fell into dementia. And it's just such a sad thing to see. They also had to kill their dogs because the animal virus. In the book, they kind of hint towards the fact that the animal virus was not real, and it was kind of a way for governments and stuff to get rid of the lower class and like the homeless people, stuff like that. Because this actually is a dystopian novel. It takes place in the future. And I like dystopian novels, except haven't really read any of them. I like dystopian stories, I should say. Like, I'm actually really excited I don't know where to go. Yeah. Like The Running Man. I'm really excited to read this one. But yeah, I like dystopian stories. I think they're really cool. And then this one, like I said, it's a dystopian story. Yeah, so I don't know exactly what year it takes place in. They don't explicitly say it, but it's definitely the future. And also, it has one of the most disturbing scenes I think I've ever read. And I'm going to tell you about that right now. This is a con for me, even though I said I like disturbing things. So, earlier on, before this scene in the book, Marcos went to this abandoned zoo, the same one that their dad had taken them to. And Marcos, he finds these puppies, right? And he doesn't believe in the animal virus, so, he still plays with the puppies and stuff, and he names them, right? So then I think it's a few chapters later in the book, he goes up to the zoo, and he sees these teenagers murdering the puppies. I know, it was awful. It said they smashed their brains in, and it said they set one of them on fire. I mean, it was awful. Like, they were throwing them against the glass. It was a really sad and really disturbing scene, and I hated it. I actually had to put the book down a little bit after reading that. Yeah, but no, that about wraps up my feelings on the book so far. Well, not so far, I finished it. But I would rate the book probably about... I gave it about 4.5 stars, so I would give this one maybe... I'm actually going to say 5 stars. I'd say this is a 5-star read for me. Anyway, that wraps up my review on Tenders the Flesh. My next review video should either be The Eyes of the Dragon or Jaws. I'm probably going to do Jaws, considering that's my favorite book. And I'm still reading The Exorcist right now, so I can't wait to review that one. It's really good so far. And, well, in case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Goodbye.